The New Generation era is categorically one of the most divisive times in the history of the WWE for most fans, as it was in between two much more fondly remembered eras, the Golden Era and the Attitude Era, and saw a lot of evolution as the times changed, and some wrestlers either evolved with the times while others struggled. As the company was scrambling to find the next big talent, which would inevitably be the well-defined muscle men such as Bret Hart, Diesel, and Shawn Michaels, all taking their turn in the spotlight at one point in the era. Shifting from the Golden Era, where except for a few unimpressive bodies on the roster, there were plenty of hulking physiques on the roster from top to bottom in the years leading up to this, and big burly men were a sight to be expected when watching. Some of these wrestlers also had an awful gimmick to boot that unfortunately usually came with unflattering attire and goofy storylines that they had to work with, as creative was largely without a clue as to how to get wrestlers over, regardless of their look. Widely forgotten with the exception of his once humorous Gillberg known for Goldberg impersonations, Dwayne Gill was once a regular jobber on WWE television at the time. His small stature and soft arms seemed to be a calling card of a lot of the enhancement talent, but his spunk and can-do attitude would keep him on the roster for quite a while. This, in combination with being kept on the roster during the white-hot run of the Attitude Era, means that Dwayne Gill could be seen as an inspirational overachiever, despite his less-than-stellar looks. It should also be pointed out that he is in good condition for wrestling, and never looked gassed. Despite this, he was still never an Adonis by any means, and it was almost to the detriment of his character because of how bland his overall aesthetic was. Mabel's run in the WWE was marred by bad booking and cheesy gimmicks, and unfortunately, he was greener than grass when it came to wrestling. All of the important aspects aside, Mabel was large, slow, and wrestled with little finesse when he was getting the chance to shine. His heft was no help to all the other issues that plagued the start of his career with WWE, but he would go on to be known as Viscera and Big Daddy V to better results. Ironically, his body largely stayed the same in those runs as well. Otis have a very interesting character, and he is catching lots of wrestling fans' eyes with his funny and cute gimmick, and his body also helps boosting his character a lot. However, having very high body fat percentage is not healthy and can cause some problems, but without a doubt, Otis' physique is definitely helping his career in WWE, especially when he performs his finishing move Caterpillar. Typically seen as one of the most embarrassing gimmicks of the New Generation era, Mantor was an oddity of a character with so many confusing aspects about the entire affair. From the shaven hair with a set of horn patterns on the side, to the dirt brown singlet with black gauntlets. This was a look that was doomed from the start. Even if had the physique of a Greek god, it would have never worked. However, Mantor's physique was quite unimpressive, and he never looked like anything other than a jobber. Largely utilized for short segments where he played the guitar, Man Mountain Rock was a peculiar addition to the roster. He would not have many matches, but when given the opportunity, it was clear that his guitar skills far outweighed his wrestling capabilities. Large, plodding, slow, and wearing baggy tie-dye clothing, Man Mountain Rock did not have a style that was easy on the eyes. Credit where credit was due, he did look like a powerhouse at times, but it was a far cry from some of the others, including the likes of Earthquake or Mabel. Despite Earthquake, known as Tenta in Japan, being a professional sumo wrestler and even getting a main event program with Hulk Hogan, he was never much to look at. While he did look large and powerful, it seemed to only be because of his massive weight. While he was intimidating for his size, there was nothing about his physique that said he ate well or lifted weights regularly. All this in combination with his unflattering onesie made for a pretty bad look for an otherwise consistently good wrestler. One of the most infamous characters in all of WWE's history, Bastion Booger is well known for being a complete misstep by the company, and this gimmick is heavily cited as an example of the poor state of the overall creative direction. Mike Shaw, who was allegedly given the gimmick as punishment for his overweight stature, had the dishonorable distinction of possibly having the worst attire in the history of the business. When it comes to the worst physique in the New Generation era, look no further. And before I wrap this video, I want to make one thing clear, that I'm not disrespecting or body-shaming anyone. They are very good performers in the ring, and I'm just sharing their careers' experiences. That's it for today, guys. Comments your thoughts down below. Please also like and share this video for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to know latest news and facts about wrestling first. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.